Okay, so introduce yourself and say how you got started in the Methodist Church.
Alright, my name's Will, and I was pretty much born into the Methodist Church. Both of my parents were Methodist, and they took me there from the time I was like 1 until I went off to college.
Nice. Okay. Did you ever play music for the church?
I did. I was in the worship team for 3 or 4 years, maybe 5. I don't know, a number of years. I wanted to be a musician, and it was a small town, so there weren't a whole lot of venues to like play live, and that seemed like one of the best ways to get experience.
What did you play?
For the most part, I played bass. Every once in a while, they'd have me play banjo or ukulele or something like that, but bass was the main thing.
So then you played more contemporary music?
Yeah, yeah. They had 2 different services, a traditional and a contemporary. The traditional, they stuck to the like old Wesleyan hymns and the few that we stole from the Catholics. And the Catholics, those Roman bastards.
What do you like about the music that you played at the Methodist Church?
Alright, so for the most part, it was not really to my taste. It was a lot of it's like fairly generic, like pop rock stuff. But we had one worship leader who was really into like traditional and folk music, and he was able to kind of bridge that gap. We did a lot of like modern revisions of like old hymns, and that was a lot of fun. That's where I got to play banjo a whole bunch, and there was just like a lot of experimenting that we did when he was in charge, and I was able to really get into that.
Okay. Trying to think of other things. Is there anything else you particularly want to say?
Um, yeah. I think that a lot of like traditional music is kind of treated like it's set in stone. But one thing that Methodists are really good at is like seceding from things and starting something new. And so, yeah.
Accurate.
Camera, you can't see this, but Serena was chuckling behind you. So once I went to college, I stopped going to church for a while, but eventually I just kind of like stumbled on this little like startup in downtown Cleveland called Gateway, and it was really cool because everybody who went there was like a professional, like a young professional, like working downtown. It was just like the only place nearby where they could go worship. And so it was always like a really small transient congregation, but the cool thing about that was like since it was so small, everything that happened was kind of like a group effort. Like everybody pitched in to make it happen, and part of that was with the music. Instead of having like one set worship team and a worship leader, we would all kind of like pass that role back and forth. Our only practice would be like an hour before the service started, and the band would just consist of whoever decided to show up that day. So we could have, like some days we didn't have a drummer and we'd just go all acoustic. Other days we would have flute players and cellists, and one guy brought an accordion. So we were able to take these songs that everybody else had been playing for years and do a ton of cool stuff with them because we had just like endless variations on the instrumentation, and that's like something that Methodists are pretty good with, like reinventing old stuff.
Okay, so have you ever listened to Buddhist music?
I have listened to it before.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about what you think about that type of music.
I think it's very relaxing. It's not something that I would turn on the radio just because I don't even think that you could do that. But I just think it's very relaxing music, and it calms me down when I hear it.
Oh, good. So you feel pretty relaxed when you're listening to this type of music?
Yeah.
Good, okay. What would you say some of your favorite parts are.
Honestly, I don't think I listen to it enough to have a specific favorite. I like it all right now. I haven't been listening to it long, so I do know that I like how soothing it is. And
Okay, so have you ever listened to Buddhism music?
Honestly, I have not. I've heard things about it, but I have not personally listened to it.
Okay. Do you have any idea like what type of music it is?
I feel like from things I've heard, I feel like it's very like relaxing. It's very like music you would listen to while you're doing yoga or meditating, things like that.
Okay. So how would you say that people feel while they're listening to this type of music, if you had to say?
Probably pretty relaxed. I feel like spiritual, since it is a religious type of music. Yeah.
Have you heard of anyone's favorite parts?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a few things from people about how they like how it's relaxing and the different melodies that work within the music, but...
Okay. And what is your own personal religion?
I'm Catholic.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about that type of music that you listen to during Mass.
It's definitely very, like, similar, like, all the songs kind of sound the same. It's very, like, hymnal, we all sing, it's very, like, monotone, kind of, but...
Okay. So do you have any idea how Buddhism music and Catholic type of music kind of relates at all, if you had to say?
I'm sure since it's religious, they both have to do with the higher being that they, believe in, but I really don't know because I don't listen to Buddhist music, but if I had to guess, that's what I would say.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Roman bastards.